NVIDIA live special. In this live broadcast, I'm making this, ultimately it'll be a video, but I'm making this in a live broadcast. We're going to hear from Tom Lee. We're going to take some points here and we're going to discuss it. Also, we're going to look to the upcoming event and some more breaking news that has appeared since I put out my video a few hours ago. This is a live discussion. Members can phone into the show. You can have your say. I will give you a live link in a moment so you can be on the show, have your thoughts in this, and take part in a live NVIDIA special. So let's get straight to it. It's going to be a very, very busy couple of days. So if you are new to the channel, tap the like button and consider subscribing. Welcome. We're doing a live NVIDIA special. There is a live phone-in, and we'll see how this goes. All right? So first of all, as you can see, NVIDIA is down today 9%. It was slightly lower. It was nearly 10% at one moment. We are running a live poll during this show. This is the live poll we're running right now. So if you're watching this later, the links for my X account are below. Let me just read this.
The Wolf of Main Street donated $5 through a super chat. Watch $4 to explode just before the close or after hours. Scalp time.
Oh, there you go. The Wolf of Main Street just dropped in a $5 super chat. It reads out your comments if you do that, if you want to get a point in the show, or this will live forever now on this video. So there you go. I'm going to give you the link now to my X account. Again, if you're watching this later, the links are below. But for everybody else, it's in the live chat. A live poll right now. How low can we go? Please vote in poll. This is the live broadcast to the show where we are right now. You can see the link there, but you can see we've got a poll here. The bottom is in. 47% of you say the bottom is in. 17.6% are saying 100, a little bit more. To add that together, that's by far the majority. Just 17% are saying 90, and 17.6% are saying lower. So the majority now, by far, sort of 50, 60, 70, about 65% of you. Oh, hang on. Now we got, 65% of you are saying the bottom is in or 100. So does it really matter if it goes any lower? No, it doesn't. And we'll come back to that poll in a minute and we'll discuss where the bottom could be and does it even make a difference anyway? All right, so we'll come back to that poll. If you want to keep voting on that, the X account is there in the chat, and follow me on there and we'll cover that. But right now, we're going to hear from Tom Lee. We also have some latest news as well. So let me just cover the latest news first of all, bring you this. So first of all, NVIDIA, Intel, AMD lead semiconductor slide to start September. Remember, September is always regarded as a slow month. I couldn't care less about that. People say in September we have a slow month, October's a slow month, blah, 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 blah. So we all sell off because that's what we always do. That's what lemmings do. I don't care about people like that. I look at it as an opportunity. I buy businesses, not shares. And for me, this is an opportunity to buy more. Even though I'm all in with margin, I am waiting for a further dip. How low could it go? Well, we could go down 10% on the S&P, which would mean NVIDIA will probably go down like 20%. So we're down about 10. We're halfway there. Does it really matter? We'll come back to that in a minute and discuss it. Does it really matter? Anyway, NVIDIA, Intel, AMD lead the semiconductor slide to September. Let's read this and then we'll get some reaction from Tom Lee and we can discuss it as well. Semiconductor stocks were firmly in the red on Tuesday, led by declines in NVIDIA, AMD, and the semiconductor awaits quarterly returns from industry stalwart Broadcom later in the week. If anybody wants me to cover Broadcom's earnings, it's a members perk, a $5 super chat. If you do a $5 super chat, you can request 4 earnings a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. If anybody wants Broadcom earnings covered live, let me know in the chat and I will cover it for you. All right, it's a members perk, $5 if you want it. Nvidia fell 7.8%, well, we're down to just 10% a few moments ago in early trading, while AMD dropped 5%. Nvidia has jumped more than 120% in 2024, while AMD has been roughly flat year to date, despite both benefiting from increased demand for artificial intelligence accelerators. That's what AI is all about. It's all about efficiency for companies. That's what you're buying. If you ever wondered what this is, you're buying efficiency for companies to make them more profitable. Simple as that. September, however, has not been kind to equity markets, as it's one of the worst performing months for equities. That's a standard thing. This is a great opportunity. As far as I'm concerned, this is fantastic. Let's carry on. Intel shares fell more than 7% on Tuesday, giving up Friday gains that were attributed to reports, and the company could sell assets and curb expansion plans in an effort to boost its balance sheet. Separately on Thursday, Raymond James suggested that Marvel could be a buyer of Intel's field programmable gate array unit, formerly known as Altera. Marvel shares shed 6.8% of their value. Some have also speculated that the Santa Clara, California-based chipmaker could lose its vaunted spot in the Dow Jones Industrial Average amid the continued decline in its share price. Okay, we're not going to read any more of that because I've got Tom Lee waiting in the wings to give you some thoughts here, and we can just discuss Tom Lee in a moment. Also, we're going to offer you the chance to phone in and be live on the show. There's the poll. We're still running the poll. Click on the link there in the chat. Let's go back and see how it's changed. 28 votes in now. 46% of you are saying the bottom is in. Add the extra 14%, at 60% now. Just over sort of 61% now are saying the bottom is in, or 100. So we're pretty much there. We'll come back to whether it matters waiting for more or not. But only 14% now are saying lower than 90. So that's looking pretty favorable. We're pretty much there now. Does it really matter if we hit the bottom? We'll discuss all of that in a moment. Let's come back to this before we go to Tom Lee. If you've just tuned in, tap the like button. Please do tap the like button. It shares it out to more people. A lot of you watch, and you watch all the way through actually now. My last video, most of you watched the whole video, 30 minutes, which is incredible. But not everyone tapped the like button, which is odd considering you watched the whole video. So please do tap the like button. It will share it out to more people, and we can get more accurate news, not drama and nonsense, to those that invest with NVIDIA. Nvidia-backed Recursion hurts AI biotechs on mixed data for lead drug. I just want to bring you this. We're coming on to Tom Lee in just a few moments' time. Markets are down very dramatic. This is the sort of thumbnails that certain YouTubers would use. All doom and gloom. I see it as an opportunity. I see everything as an opportunity, if I'm quite honest. Okay, let's have a look at this. Recursion Pharmaceuticals led a sell-off among AI-driven biotechs on Tuesday after the company backed by chipmaker Nvidia announced initial results from a phase 2 trial for its lead asset REC 994. The trial, targeting a neuro condition called cerebral cavernous malformation, CCM for short, met the primary endpoint of safety and tolerability after 12 months of therapy, Recursion RX said. However, the company added that while data for MRI-based secondary efficacy endpoints were promising, it has yet to see improvements in either patient or physician-reported outcomes at that time point. In July 23, Recursion RX sparked a rally in AI-driven biopharma stocks after winning a $50 million investment from NVIDIA. So you can see other things that NVIDIA are involved in. It's worth understanding all the things that NVIDIA are up to. Right, I've got this, and then we're going to come on to Tom Lee and discuss where the bottom is and whether it makes a difference anyway. Last bit of news for you. xAI brings Colossus, world's most powerful AI training system, online. This is just out a few moments ago. And by the way, if you want the latest news and software, there are links below. I'm going to give it to everybody in the chat. You can only get Seeking Alpha with a $25 discount and a free trial with my referral. Otherwise, you pay the full price. Alpha Spread, you saw earlier today, is here. All my members get a free plan because I know the CEO, and you all get the best deal of all. And with my membership, you get a premium plan, which makes the discount so good. My membership is for free. No one else can offer that. XI, the artificial intelligence startup founded by Tesla, its CEO Elon Musk brought its massive AI training system Colossus online over the weekend. The AI training cluster is powered by 100,000 of Nvidia's H100 GPUs, Musk said in a post on X. The process to build it took 122 days. So this is just out. They are a customer of Nvidia. Colossus is the most powerful AI training system in the world, Musk said. Moreover, it will double its size to 200,000, 50,000 H200s in a few months. So they are spending more money with Nvidia.
The Wolf of Main Street donated $2 through a super chat. $NVDA $105 is the bottom emo.
In my opinion, the Wolf of Main Street said Nvidia 105 is the bottom. So we are nearly there. We are nearly there. So we'll come on to Does It Matter in a few moments. I'm sharing this news because this is more customers of Nvidia and what they're doing with Nvidia chips. Earlier this year, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said in a post that on Instagram, his company plans to have 350,000 H100 GPUs included in its AI infrastructure by the end of 2024. Meta released Llama 3.1 405B this summer. I think that's all we need to cover on that. To be honest, I now want to move over to Tom Lee. So before we talk to Tom Lee and have a listen with what he has to say, and then my reaction to it, and whether you want to call in and have your say in reaction as well. If you want to be on the show and have your reaction to what is discussed with Tom Lee in a few moments, here is the link. I'm going to give everyone the link right now. You have to be a member to phone in. I can't have anyone just phoning in, otherwise we get crazy people do crazy things. There is the link. I'm making this during a live video, so if you're watching this later, of course, you won't be able to do this because this happened live. There is the link in the chat, martynlucas.com/live. The password is LucasAids 100. I'll give you the password 3 times. Uppercase L, uppercase A. It's the same password we always use. Again, if you want to call in, now you can. This is what happens when you click that link. It goes to my secure phone-in page through my website. It's a secure server. You put the password in, you click OK, you phone in live to the show, and your name, your camera will come up there. You can do this on your device, your mobile, your iPhone, your computer. It doesn't matter. I take care of all the technology. You need to be on camera. You need to put your name in so I recognize you, and you can be live in the show. And then you will be live in the show, and you will be in this spot here. Let me show you how you'll be. I will be here, and you will be my guest right there. And if you have a lot to say, I can solo you and make you very, very important. And if we get lots of people, up to 10 of you, you can be all around me in these blue spotlights here, and you can have your say. But before we bring you live onto the show, we're going to we're going to have a listen to Tom Lee now. So if you want to be live on the show, start calling in now. And at the end of my Tom Lee segment, you can have your say, your reaction. You can ask questions, and we can go through them all. So just before we bring in Tom Lee, has everyone tapped the like button, and has everyone subscribed to the channel? I hope you have. Let's have a look at this. Gone are the days of Discord phone-ins, Paul B. Yes, we've upgraded things 1,000% on every single metric, and I'm going to continue to improve. Here is the poll so far that we are running. We asked you, is the bottom in? 42% say yes, $100, 18%, so we're over 60, 40, 50, 62, 63% now, yes, or thereabouts, $100. Close enough for me. Looking very nice indeed. There's the poll. If you've not yet voted, the link is in the chat, and people will vote later, I'm sure. But now it's time to get down. Before I give my reaction to that, let's hear from Tom Lee. So let's get straight into it. Here we go. All right, let's have a listen to this.
For the markets on the first trading day of September is Tom Lee, managing partner and head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors.
Now, for those of you who don't know who Tom Lee is, he's become quite a character on CNBC. I follow all of his interviews. I study them all. I study body language. And remember, he's paid by CNBC as a contributor. He makes a lot of money from doing this. And he often gets accredited as being an oracle. He knows everything. However, no one ever challenges him when he's not correct. He's not always correct. He gets things wrong, and he seems to be able to just ignore the fact he said something wrong. He's a very cool character. People like him. He's a bit like Michael Saylor. He's become like the voice of Wall Street, as opposed to Michael Saylor as the voice of Bitcoin. And whatever he says is always good. But I like to dissect it and break it down, because a lot of people kind of look for a cheerleader, and he's very popular, and he doesn't get challenged until he's on my show. Let's hear what he has to say now and discuss it.
As well as a CNBC contributor, and all along, Tom, when you've made these prescient calls, some of them even short term, it had to do with positive surprises on inflation. And is that going to be enough from here on out to keep the market headed higher, or have we shifted to growth worries now?
I think there's probably more growth worries in people's minds these days. So the jobs reports and claims seem to have more market reaction. I think that's going to be the case in September as well. I mean,
Now, let's remember, we've got the JOLTS coming up on Friday, so hence the sell-off today. Massive sell-off preparing for this. Does that mean NVIDIA is doing a bad job? Does that mean the S&P is doing a bad job? No. It means Wall Street knows the economy is strong, knows the businesses are strong. They're taking profit to drive it down, to buy it back. This is perfectly normal. And because it's September, and everyone regards September as a sleepy month, it's a perfect excuse to sell the stocks, because everybody will follow you. And I just see it as an opportunity. There's opportunities in life whichever way you look. It's just how calm you are and how you understand your knowledge to that, and your temperament. Temperament and understanding on who you are is the most important thing you have, so you can make money at the right time. So let's have a listen in.
we have the Fed meeting at sort of in the middle of the month, but this week is the jobs report. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of focus on that.
Right. So what kept you positive was that the numbers were always, for the market, they were better than people were thinking. Is that going to continue to be the case? But it's no longer inflation, it's now growth. So growth will continue pretty good, jobs will continue.
Now, let me please assure you, I have not preempted this interview. I have no idea what he's going to say. I know some of you will go, oh, yes, you have. I've not had the chance to do it at all. I'm back-to-back slammed. I do all these live, these videos live, so I have no idea. But I'm going to tell you now what I believe to be the case. The jolts and the jobs is good. However, if we get a dramatic improvement, it could force the Fed to not reduce rates. They're going to reduce rates. However, if people think they're not going to reduce rates, they can use that as an opportunity to drive the markets down, kind of scaring people to think we're about to get rates paused and there's not going to be a rate cut and blah, 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 blah. If jobs are too strong, we don't want the economy to speed up too quickly. Otherwise, we go back where we were and then inflation rises again and we're back where we started. Jerome Powell does not want to be a Paul Volcker. So just bear that in mind. There's a little bit of games going on here. Let's hear how he answers to that.
Pretty good. You're not worried about another growth scare like we had 6 weeks ago?
Yes, I think that the growth scare is what everyone's worried about, because the July jobs report was kind of a shock to markets, and that's part of how we had that Tokyo Black Monday. I think this jobs report for August is going to show a nice rebound for growth in jobs. Hopefully it's not too strong, because of course, as you know, if it's too strong, people are going to worry the Fed might backpedal on a September cut.
Exactly. Bloody hell, that was perfect. And honestly, I have not watched this, okay? That's not a surprise. If you just read the numbers, you can understand what's going on. This is a great opportunity. It's rubbish for traders, rubbish for shorters, rubbish for those who are over-leveraged, bloody horrible, terrifying. And in fact, the carry trade, if you borrowed money from Japan and you are buying US stocks with borrowed money, then the rates went up, and the rates went up, which is what they did, which is what the carry unwinding was. You ended up getting liquidated because you just got wiped out because your costs went through the roof. So that's why I never use margin to buy individual stocks. I use maximum amount of margin. I'm not maximum at the moment, but I am 50-50 with the S&P. But this is great. This is exactly what we want. We want overreaction to great businesses. We want overreaction to Nvidia. Thank you very much. I hope it goes to $10. Absolutely I do, because the business is still the business and I want to buy as much of it as possible. But like he just said there, and like I guessed he would say, if we get an acceleration, a real acceleration on growth and the economy, then it could go the other way, because the Fed will not want the economy to overheat again and be a Paul Volcker. We know Jerome Powell wants this to be his legacy and maintain discipline. And I think we've got that. We've got that, but it comes across that we might not have it, hence the sell-off.
So where does that leave you in terms of what is seasonally, Andrew just alluded to it, September's not great, and we know, I mean, we always make lows in October, or we have many times, which means usually a lot of times September was not great.
So we have to react to that. We always have these lows in October. September's always a rubbish month. I honestly, I lose so much credibility for people who talk like that, because that shows no insight, no aptitude, no knowledge of investing. It's just purely drama on TV. And I've got no respect for the presenter saying such stupid stuff. All it means is he's read a book and he knows that every October, that's what it does. In other words, I'm a lemming and I'm repeating what everybody else knows. That is not investing. That's not clever. I can look back and tell you every year it does this, so it's likely to do it again. No, I'm looking at the businesses, I'm looking at the overall economy, and I'm making my own decision when I buy. I don't care if the markets rally, I don't care if the markets dump. I own the businesses, not the stocks. So I don't subscribe to this theory of every September it's quiet, every October it does this. So that's what it's going to do now. Every time we have every time we go through the crypto cycle, we all wait until next summer for the next bull market to begin. So we all sit around for a year and wait for someone to decide it's now time to buy Bitcoin. What a load of nonsense. What a load of rubbish. What a load of rubbish that is. Look at the balance sheet, the business. Does the thing make money? Does the business make money? If it does, and it's going to go up in the future, that's it. You buy the business. You don't care, quite honestly, what price you pay for it, because you bought it knowing it's going to go up substantially from here. I don't buy anything that I can't hold for 10 years, and I don't buy anything I don't think is going to 3, 4, 5x. What the hell's the point of that? What's the point of buying something that's going to make me 2 or 3%? I just leave my money in cash, earning 5.5%, and just go and sit on the beach. I mean, quite frankly. So all this nonsense about in October it does this, in September it does this, is all noise. It's emptiness on CNBC to fill up gaps, waiting for someone like Tom Lee to speak with some actual knowledge and authority. Let's go back to him. I'm sorry about that. I just get so annoyed at presenters talking absolute nonsense because they've got nothing else to say.
I think investors should be cautious for the next 8 weeks. September.
Next 8 weeks, be cautious.
Yes.
You're not always cautious.
That's right.
Now let's talk about that for a moment. Cautious. What does cautious actually mean? Investors should be cautious. We all know, and I bet you any money you like, he's going to say it's all great and we're going to be up from here. I bet you all the tea in China, he's going to say we're going to be up in 2024. So what does he mean? Be cautious. Well, if you buy now and it goes sideways or it goes down a bit, maybe 10%, it could go down 10%, but you're up 20% end of the year, what does it matter? You're still up more than if you'd had uninvested cash earning 5.6% or in the bank or whatever, or real estate or anything else. What does it matter? Traders should be cautious. Investors, no, you're buying a great business. Who the bloody hell cares what happens in September and October? I care where my stocks are in 10 years from now. And now is a good time to buy. Just like the Chinese philosophers said the best time to invest was 10 years ago. Second best time to buy is today. Simple. That's why I use margin and buy the future price and then invest in myself to earn the money to pay off the margin, so I own today's prices. Don't care about the intraday trading and all the rest of it.
The market's been up 7 of the 8 months this year, so we know it's an incredibly strong market, but we also have the September cuts and we have the election, things that'll get people nervous. I think in the next 8 weeks, people get a chance to buy. So I think it's good to be cautious, but just ready to buy that dip.
You have...
So it's good to be cautious, but it's good to buy. What does that mean then? It means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It's cautious, but a good time to buy. Well, I'm not cautious about buying. I just buy. I mean, that's not hard. I've read the balance sheet. It's a great opportunity to buy. Cautious is if you're shorting the stock, be careful because it's going to go up. If you're over leveraging on individual stocks, be careful. But one thing we all know, and this is one of the most important points to get out of this live broadcast, is markets. Remember, not you, not retail investors, not you on Robinhood, not me, but the real money, the billionaires and the millionaires, my friends, people that I know, Mark Cuban, I've done the Jerry Jones gig, you all know who I talk to, the CEOs I talk to on the phone and through my X and Instagram. They don't risk money. I don't risk money. I've not lost any money since January. I don't ever lose money. I used to when I first started trading and I learned the ropes. Now I never lose money. I'm always making money. If you've got real money, you don't risk it. Why? You don't need to. You're already rich. You can already earn 5-6%. And if you've got $1 billion making 5-6% every year, why would you risk it on the stock market? Why? No reason. Is there? None whatsoever. So, real rich people don't mess around with their money. So anyway, let's carry on.
Because you're fearless and you'll say anything. You have in the past actually talked about election-related trades and Trump trades. And do you see anything going on now that indicates anything to you? Bitcoin hasn't been acting very well.
Yeah, Bitcoin hasn't acted well. The two things...
Thank you very much for covering Bitcoin. I spoke about that just some moments ago. Like I was just saying, certainty. Everyone wants certainty in the market. And an uncertain future, who's going to win the election? Will it make a difference to Nvidia? No. Will it make a difference to Tesla? No. Will everything still go on the same? Yeah, because private enterprise, private money makes money regardless of who wins the election. That's a fact. That's always been the case and always has been and always will be. However, people use that information to say we're not sure what's going to happen right now. So they sit around waiting for something to happen. What a load of rubbish. Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't performed. It's not going to perform until next year. The businesses that I own are making things every day and bringing me profits every day. Whether they're reflected in today's stock price is completely irrelevant, but they're making money for me, the owner, every day. What's happening with Bitcoin? Sod all. You've got your money in Bitcoin, sitting there, waiting for someone to say, all right, guys, shall we all buy Bitcoin? Because now it's the bull run. What a load of nonsense. Do not sit around waiting. People always tell me, is now the right time to buy? It's always the right time to get involved, always the right time to invest, always the right time to research and do your own due diligence. It's never the right time. Sat on the sidelines. A good example, ask somebody who's busy to get something done. Somebody lazy has never got any time. I'll get round to that in a minute. Somebody lazy who does nothing, never got time. Ask someone who's busy, they'll get it done for you.
Things we're watching to sort of look at how election probabilities are weighed is Bitcoin and energy. I think the fact that oil is being weak, even with some geopolitical risks, tells me I think the market is starting to bet more on a Trump election.
Makes no difference.
Because there'd be more production.
More production.
Bad
yes.
for price, which is not necessarily the way that you might think about things, because we hear about, we're at records for oil production. No one realizes the reason we're at records in this country is because prices were so high that it caused a lot more drilling and activity, and the prices were high because it's harder to drill without and LNG and everything else the Biden administration did.
Yeah, that's right. So people think oil should be higher here, for many reasons, but oil's been weak. So I'd say that's probably the market.
That's China too, though, isn't it?
Yeah, China's becoming a bit more mysterious, right? There's even risk maybe of negative GDP there.
Okay, so the next, and funny you said 8 weeks. It's almost exactly 8 weeks, I think. What's that? It's like 63 days or so. So some uncertainty and caution going into the election, but in your view, people should get long.
I think they'll get a chance to buy long, yeah. So I think this is one of those where investors need to be cautious, but...
Okay, so invest long, okay. Long-term investment, always the way. I do think there is potentially, well, there already is today, 10% down on NVIDIA. I think there's potentially, and I did a video a few weeks ago. Again, I don't do it, I'm never reacting, I'm proactive, right? I told you when we would get the rate cuts. I said it'd be summer of 24. I've said that we'll get 0.5%. I've also said a 10% crash. You can go and see my videos, and I've given this definition several times, not after someone has said it on CNBC, but just by calculating a 10% pullback. So we're going to come on to that in a minute, whether now is the bottom, and does it really matter? We're going to cover that once Tom Lee finishes. I think we've got about a minute left of this.
Back of their minds, no, this is a strong market.
How far down, Tom? 10%?
I think that 7 to 10 is a possibility, and we've already had 7% corrections this year. So it's been testing investors' patience. But I think we should expect turbulence.
And then the question, of course, is when the turbulence comes, is it a buy the dip always?
I think,
or is there going to be and by the way, buy the dip at when it goes down by 2 or 3%, or you really actually have to wait for a 5%?
See, now that is a ridiculous comment, and I wish Tom Lee would be so blunt to say what a ridiculous comment. Why would you care if the market has gone down 2%? It bounces around 2% in tech all the time. Look at 10% today in Nvidia. What does that actually mean? It doesn't mean anything. If you're buying a business like Nvidia or the S&P 500 like I am, you want to own it for 10 years. It's going to 3x by the end of the decade. Who the hell cares if it goes down 2% today? What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. Who cares? That only means something if you're trying to scalp trade it, and 95% of scalp traders lose money. So I would rather be in the camp that always make money, and I always do make money. Who cares about 2%? You should always have money on hand, but people say that means cash on hand. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean cash on hand at all. It means being able to buy the stock. For me, it's margin. Every single penny of my money is invested, working like little soldiers every single day. When I see major dips, I buy more. Every time there's a macro condition, I buy more using my margin, because I know I can make more money from the market than what it's going to cost on margin. And margin is going to go down. Where before we had the rally in rates, margin on Robinhood was at 2%. I'm making 13.5% just by owning the S&P. So it's a no-brainer that I'm making 11.5% more when the rates go back down to 2%, and they will be there in the next 6 months to a year. So why would I not use my margins? Obvious, as long as you're only buying the S&P. So anyway, who the hell cares about 2%? If you're trying to scramble around for 2%, you're trying to find the crumbs off the table rather than take what's on the table as an investor. Why on earth would you care about 2%?
5, 6, 7% pullback.
I think 1 or 2 is just almost like daily noise. This market has shown pullbacks like that. So I think something like a 5% pullback is very likely, but I think we need.
And are you waiting for that?
Yeah.
So as you can see, that presenter there said 2%. Like, these presenters talk absolute rubbish. What they're there for is to provide entertainment. Yes, I'm here to provide entertainment, but I'm also going to be honest and just tell you how it is, and not just try and say rubbish just to get viewers. It's absolute bloody nonsense. Who the bloody hell is going to wait for a 2% pullback? You'd already in, wouldn't you? No one knows how low it's going to go. Makes no bloody difference.
Yeah, I think it. You know what? We'll find out this jobs report, because like if it's too strong and investors worry, and so the stock market's down Friday, I would be buying that dip. But there's a chance that we get a good jobs report and the market's up. I hate to sound so binary, but I think I would just say at the bottom line is it's a strong market. So
It's like he's saying, if it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, it goes down. It doesn't mean anything, folks. It doesn't mean anything at all.
I don't think we've seen the top for 2024. It's just that the next 8 weeks are tougher.
There you go.
Now with this call,
we've not seen
for the markets on the first
top for 2024. No doubt about it. 100%. The markets are going to go up from here. So let me get rid of that. I hope that was of some use to you to help you calm down and understand how the market works and be less fearful and understand what you bought in the first place. If you bought the stock, as many of you did, at 130, you must be delighted with it now down here at 108. It's absolutely on sale. Now then, what's really important, I want to put this in this video. I've called this NVIDIA Day. It really is NVIDIA Day. So this is the event I'm talking about. It's in 14 days from now. Jerome Powell is the star guest on my show. Only my show. He's not anywhere else. He's only here with me. This is the event. It's NVIDIA Day. It really is. And leading up to it, the hour before will be extremely volatile for NVIDIA. I wouldn't be surprised in all the tea in China if it drops 20% and then goes up 40%. That's what NVIDIA can do. And that's probably what it will do. So I'm going to give everyone now the link for this. If you're watching this later, the link will be below the video. So make sure we've got people already waiting. As you can see, I've got this, even though the event is 2 weeks away, there are 6 people waiting in the green room. I love this. But what you need to do is everyone tap the like button. So I'm asking now, there are 329 of you watching live right now. I've just put the link in the chat. We want to make this the biggest, most watched FOMC of any channel in the world. Now, bearing in mind, even though I'm a tiny little channel, we can do it. And how I know is this. I've given everyone the link now in the chat. Everyone's got the link. Every single person now, click on like. See, it says 3 likes. I want that to turn to at least 100 live right now. And I'll tell you why this is important. Because we want the real news, the truth, what's really going on around NVIDIA and the stock market reported on this day. We don't want the nonsense of Meet Kevin and others. Now, before you think, there's no way you can have the #1 FOMC report in the world. There is. Meet Kevin has 2 million subscribers. 2 million. And he had 100,000 people watch NVIDIA earnings at the time it went out. We had 38. We only have 34,000 subscribers. We had the highest engagement rate of any channel on earth for NVIDIA. Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing, okay? I think you'll agree. So I believe, even though we are tiny, we are the most honest, real, live channel in the world, and we rank #1 for NVIDIA, despite we are a tiny little channel of just 34,000. So everybody, I've given you the link. Click on it now. Click share. And let's have the biggest live event in history for NVIDIA, for the FOMC report. 15 likes already. Great. 16 waiting. Absolutely love it. We're going to crush it. Channels with millions of subscribers are going to get less viewers than we do. We'll probably have more viewers than we do subscribers, which is pretty wild, right? It's pretty crazy. So anyway, one more time. 15 likes. It's jumped now to 15 likes. Let's see if we can get 100. There's 300 of you watching right now, so we should be able to do it. Anyway, that's the event we all need to be part of. Now, I also put together for you this. This is very, very important as well. Let me bring it up on over here. I'm doing this. This will go out as its own video. So some of you are going to see this. Are going to see this later on, but I'm going to show you now anyway. Here is on the home page of the channel where you are right now. You can see it says live. Don't P, by the way, means don't panic. I thought it would just be a bit curious. What does P stand for? I don't know if anybody worked that out. But anyway, NVIDIA chart analysis. Sensei gave you Sunday night, preparing you for today, this position. And he said, and if you join us live every Sunday, you would know, we said, and Sensei is extremely accurate, extremely reliable. He said 90 was the bottom. It could go to 90. It was stated in this chart here with his specific reasons, not just guessing, oh, 90, because 90 sounds good. Why not 91? Why not 89? Why not 89, 98? Right? He put it in here, explains why. If you want that, there is the video. It's on the homepage of the channel. Just click videos and you will see all the chart analysis we did over the weekend. There's NVIDIA right in the center there for you. And there are others you might like Salesforce and all the rest of it, okay? All right. Now then, as we wrap up this video, because this is all going to go out as its own video, we are running a poll. And our poll now has 43 votes. I'm sure we'll get more votes later on. But we have 44% of you said the bottom is in. If we add that to 100, which is not that far away, that brings us to 40, 50, 60. Just about 61% of you are just about in or just slightly lower. So the question I want to ask you is, does it make any difference at all? Does it make any difference? What are you waiting for? Only 9.3% think it's going to go below 90. Well, let's put it like this. We believe 100%. We've got $140 stock at worst case scenario. $140. I've shared that with you in this morning's video. I gave you full analysis how I got to those numbers, and 140 is minimal. Within 12 months, 200. So do I care if I bought it for 109, 108, 107, 112, 115? Couldn't care less. I'm an investor buying a business, not buying a stock price. I don't care. However, I'm not buying NVIDIA directly. I'm buying it through the S&P. And if you've not seen my portfolio, this is why I'm down nearly 4% today, which is about 2% on the S&P. Because I double when I'm up and I double when I'm down because I'm massively in margin. And if you want to know exactly how much margin I've got, it's on the screen. You can see it right there. So I couldn't be more bullish. Okay, my overall balance is 110. Our all-time high was 113. We're just off an all-time high. Despite all of this, I've never shorted a stock, never will. Never done options, never will. And I only started with $5,000. And for the first year and a half, I earned zero on YouTube. I've only been earning money for the last year and a half. So that's it. And last month, I only put in $1,000. So I'm not loading this up with money to inflate it. It's just doing well, just by being a real investor. So there it is. There is my live NVIDIA special. Thank you very much for joining me for the one I made earlier, which has now become the fastest ever video on my channel ever. Thank you very much indeed. It was this one here. It was called Good News. I explained the full analysis here. It's done 1,700 views, or in fact, it's done over that now, nearly 2,000 views. As you can see, 100 times my average, which is ridiculous. Thank you ever so much. And I'm really proud to say 92% of you watched all of it. 31 minutes, which is, the engagement rate is fantastic. I can't thank you enough. And 99.0% up-liked. Only one person down-liked the video so far, at least when I looked before the show started. Maybe somebody else has down-liked it now. So there we go. Now then, if you want to be part of the event, you can call in. I've got nobody on the phone line, so we're not going to do a live phone-in. There's no point. Nobody decided to call in. You had the opportunity to have your say. Nobody did, so let's not worry about that. Nobody wanted to do that, so we'll move on. But make sure that you do join us and go and like that event. This is the event now. How many likes have we got on it now? Let's have a quick look. We had 15. I was hoping we'd get 100. 23. To be honest, that's pretty good. We're never going to get 100. But anyway, this is the event. I can share it with you on the screen. There's 23 likes for an event that happens in 2 weeks. I'm hoping that we're going to have more than we had for NVIDIA, which was 38,000. I would like to have more than any channel on earth, even the ones with millions of subscribers, because the time has come. People want a real channel, a real army, an army that is led for its soldiers, not for the owner of the channel. This channel is about you. I've done everything in life I've ever wanted to do. I've traveled to all the countries of the world. This is the last thing I want to do. Grow the most honest, real channel in the world, and all of us benefit. I want to be able to raise millions for charity. I want to be able to help people. I want everyone to have friends and love the channel and be here every day. And that's what this is all about. So, if that interests you, click subscribe and ring the bell, and please help me to bring you the #1 FOMC report in the world, more than CNBC, Bloomberg, and anybody else. And you know what? If we all like it and share it, we can do it easily, because the engagement rate here is the highest of any channel on earth. 98% of our live viewers are members, more than most channels added together. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here is the FOMC report, and down here is the playlist for NVIDIA. Don't panic. You're buying a great business. Hold your hats. Use it as an opportunity. If you do your own research, understand what you bought in the first place, you'll be like me, as cool as a cucumber, not bothered, just thinking, well, this is good. I hope it keeps on going down. I love the red days. The green days, I don't do anything. I just sit around and watch. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.